What's up guys, welcome back to the Lil Maguizy channel. Today we're going to take a look at a man who can shrink. Let's do it, shall we? Ant-Man, starring Paul Rudd as Scott Lang / Ant-Man, Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne, Bobby Cannavale, Bobby Cannibal as Paxton, that dude. Corey Stoll, what is with these names? As Darren Cross / Yellow Jacket, Michael Pena as Louise, and Michael Douglas as Hank Pym. Basically, more of the story. Let's go back to 1989, where Hank Pym, a young Hank Pym, is just grieving the loss of his wife, and then some guy just had to mention it, and then he punches him. Present day is Scott Lang, who's a prisoner. He gets released and chills out with his mate in an apartment, which is fun. And then he decides to steal a motorcycle suit. He gets fired from his job, decides to go and steal some shit. He decides to steal this suit which has the ability to shrink. And then he gets arrested, and then he returns it, and then he gets arrested again. And then Hank Pym was watching him the whole time, and then he helps him escape again. And then, he gets knocked out and goes to his house. And then, she meets this girl named Hope Van Dyne, who, she's been lied. She's basically saying her mom was killed in a plane crash, which is pretty much a lie. And so then Hope leaves, and then Scott decides to go visit her in the car and be like, I have a daughter. Oh, by the way, he has a daughter and a wife. Ex-wife. And then, Hank tells Hope how her mom really died. And then Scott decides to officially become Ant-Man, and then he has all these ant people who helps him, and then he flies down, and then he goes to the Avengers place, and then he fights Falcon, and Ant-Man easily wins. And then, Darren pays a visit over to Hank's house, and then tells Hope that they're demonstrating shit, and then they go and find him, and then they go to the Darren Cross presentation. They go to his presentation about the Yellow Jacket suit, and then Scott decides to become Ant-Man, and then beats the hell out of him, and then Darren gets away in a helicopter, and then he puts on the Yellow Jacket suit, and then Darren decides to go over to Scott's house and terrorizes his daughter, but don't worry, Ant-Man comes to save the day, where they shrink and just beat up the hell out of each other. In his daughter's perspective, it's literally just a couple ants scrapping with each other. And then Ant-Man decides to go inside the Yellow Jacket suit, destroy the Yellow Jacket suit from the inside, and kill Darren. And he's lost in the quantum realm. And then he comes back out. And then boom. Ant-Man is reunited with his daughter. And then his mate Louise tells them, "Hey, yo man, the Falcon Boy's looking for you, bro." And then he's like, "Oh no. What'd he say?" And then Louise was like, "He said yes." And boom, that's it. After credit scene time, Hank and Hope go into the basement, and then Hank shows Hope this suit which can make her shrink. And then Hope is like, "It's about damn time." Second after credit scene, Captain America, Falcon find Bucky. And then Falcon's like, I know a guy. We'll find out more about that in a later movie. Or maybe I should say the next movie. Overall thoughts, it's fucking funny. When I first seen this in the thing when I was 10, I thought I wouldn't like this because it wasn't really well known. And then I went to see it, and then fucking like it. It's fucking hilarious. Jokes. Yeah. Overall thoughts, it's good. It's good. It's fucking dope. So yeah. So also the credits, like this red particle mist stuff. I have to stop explaining the credits to you because you don't care. Yeah. So that's that. That is the end of Chapter 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Join us next time where we take a look at probably the most important chapter out of all of them, Chapter 3. Where we take a look at a man, a soldier. We take a look at a soldier with a shield and a man in a metal suit scrapping with each other. Goodbye.